So hello everyone, welcome to XHacks. So this is something that we are doing where we talk about things that really happen in a lot of people's everyday life. So we talk about the X-Men tools and how we can use them as hacks in order to address some of these things that sometimes seem unaddressable. So what's a hack? A hack is an out-of-the-box way of addressing something or dealing with it. And the X-Men tools are so amazing and dynamic for this. So thank you, Torsten, for playing with me.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So the question for this one is, you're like maybe walking down the street or you go into a room or a party or something like that, and like something shifts immediately. Like suddenly you're like really sad or really angry or whatever, like your energy or your mood changes instantly in that moment.
Yeah.
So do you have a hack for that?
Yes, I do. So it's like, and just to say too, like how often does that happen? Like to most of us, right? And it's often this time where you're like, you have this, I often call it the idiot show when this happens to me. So you walk into a party or you walk into a room or you walk into work, you're one way before and you literally walk in and you're completely different. You were easeful, you were relaxed, you were happy about your day. You walk into the other space and all of a sudden you're the exact opposite. You're really angry, or you're like all of a sudden emotional and
or tired or
tired is, oh my God, that's such a good one. Tired.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, for me anyways, there's also this sense of like, you are so aware of how you were before you went in there, and now you have this other thing going on, and it's almost like I call it the idiot show because it's like there, but you can't really stop it. You can't really stop being it. You don't know why you're angry, you're tired, but you can't get out of it. And the thing about that is like, how aware are you really? And the thing we talk about in X-Men is like, people who have these capacities, these talents, these abilities, their level of perceiving is far more dynamic than they probably know and that this reality even acknowledges.
Yeah.
A lot of these abilities show up because of that ability for people to perceive thoughts, feelings, and emotions so dynamically. An X-Men will, can know what's going on with somebody, even if that person's not even communicating that that's going on. An X-Men can pick up on this energetic communication that people do, this nonverbal communication. Oftentimes, the person that's most sad in the room is acting the most happy. And so it can create a lot of really strange stuff for X-Men because all you can pick up is this sadness and all of a sudden you're sad. But what's going on in front of you is someone's super happy and you're like, what is going on? So oftentimes we think I'm sad or I'm crazy or
I'm really messed up for sure.
Right? Like it's one of the most really intense things when you have this level of awareness. And so the hack for this is something that's so simple you might think that it won't work, but I would just encourage you to try it. When you notice that difference in how you're being and that you've, walked into a new space or you've been out in the world, kind of like you said, it can happen walking into a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen, you stop to get gas and you walk in to to buy a pack of gum. And then all of a sudden you leave out there and you're like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. It's like, okay, well, what happened? So the thing you can do is ask, what am I perceiving? And perceiving is the trick word. It's the word that actually creates a different possibility and starts to shift and change things for you. If you ask, what am I feeling or what am I thinking, you automatically buy it as yours. And so what that does is it creates you as being that thing. And what most people do is they don't even ask a question. So I guess the first hack is, instead of saying, I am sad, you say, what am I perceiving?
Yes.
And sometimes I even take it a step further and go, okay, who's sad here?
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, if I ask that question, it'll like click me into knowing that I'm actually being aware of something, and then something will pop, like somebody's space will pop. And it's not to say that then you don't have to do anything with it, and you don't actually have to have an answer to that question. You just literally have to ask, hey, okay, what am I actually perceiving? Instead of going, I'm depressed today, I'm sad today, I'm tired today. How many of us actually do that? Lord, that's a big one. Thank you for bringing that up. And, before we even ask a question, like, okay, what am I perceiving?
Mm-hmm.
And for X-Men, that is one of the biggest questions you can ask. And for people who have kids, you probably all picked your kid up from school and they get in the back of the car and they're not your kid. There's something different. They're like, you don't know who just got in your car, but it's not your child. One of the coolest things you can do is ask them, hey, start the conversation and say, well, what have you been perceiving today? Because that gives them the ability to start to be aware that that's not actually them, that they are actually perceiving whatever it is that they got into the car with. And it allows them to also know that it's not them and not take it on as theirs. So you can use it with yourself and you can use it with your kids. So that's the hack for today.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Thanks, everyone.